So coming to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like to you. For those of you sharing that you had some, knee stuff going on, especially with that, finding, with your legs crossed, you can still do that. Another option for your knees is putting pillows or something under your knees so that they're kind of held up a little bit. Because sometimes having them, drop down, there's a lot of openness that has to happen in the hips and the knees, right? So just kind of checking in with that. Another option, like I was saying before, is if you grab the thighs and actually twist them out, actually kind of grabbing the flesh and twisting them outward, right? That actually helps the legs to sit a little bit better in the hips and in the knees. So, I mean, you can do that whether your knees are hurting or not, but that's just another way to kind of, get settled in there a little bit. All right, so here we are coming to that comfortable seated position, checking in what that feels like. Whatever supports you need, go with it. Um, like we did last time, whatever foot is in front, maybe go ahead right away and put that behind the other one. Switch it up right away. Just start to feel what that feels like in your hips, relaxing the shoulders away from your ears. Just coming to this place, maybe closing your eyes or looking down, looking away, not thinking about anything else. That's going to be the goal, is to just coming to this place, coming to center, coming within yourself. And as you close your eyes, or at least like look inward, just before you move, just notice your posture. Don't move yet. Don't judge it. Just start to notice, how is your spine? Where is your chin? How are you holding your shoulders, your jaw? What is feeling cranky in the body right now? What is feeling strong? And now, still not judging, but let's try to bring extra openness in the body. So as we release the hips and the knees, bringing the belly in towards the back and the back towards the belly, kind of meeting in the middle. The bottoms of the ribs pick up off the hips, even if just slightly, but there's this openness that happens. And really between the ribs and the hips is an area that we kind of forget about. We think about our abs a lot with crunches and stuff, or even our back, but the sides is really, like, the stronger the sides can be, the easier it is to hold your spine up comfortably, have good posture. And it gets to a point where your posture is, nice and strong and long, and it's more comfortable to be sitting straight up than it is to be crouching, right? So focusing on that as you pull up one vertebrae after the other, sitting on the one below it. And then the shoulders move away from the ears. The jaw relaxes around the eyes. Awesome. The chin should be pretty much parallel with the ground, right? That helps the back of the neck to be long. And let's just do some shoulder circles here. Just kind of moving the shoulders forward and back. Awesome. Back to forward. Sweet. And then squeeze the shoulders up. And then as you let them go, exhale and really let them go. Awesome. Inhale, swoop the arms out and up. Lengthen the sides, up through the fingertips, down through the hips, hands together. Exhale them down to heart center. Squeeze the hands together and take a moment to just honor your practice. Honor that you're taking this about 45 minutes out of your day to move away from whatever came before, whatever's going after, and just being able to be right here on your mat, your own journey. I'm just a guide giving suggestions where to go, how to do it, but noticing that you are to take care of your body. If it feels like it's too much, back off. Just honor your body in this practice. Releasing the hands and starting with little twists here. So we're just going to start to move side to side, letting the arms swoop around side to side. Awesome. You can even go as far as to, like, kind of hit the hands around the sides. There's actually a practice of kind of like hitting the kidneys back behind you, and that really invigorates them. So we won't do this too long because this is kind of a more gentle practice. In just a moment here, just getting some movement in the shoulders. in the sides. Twists are what squeeze it out and let it all go, cleansing it out. Awesome. And next time you get to your left side, woo, swoop around and hold that. And feel the kind of movement, 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 movement coming to stillness. Hands down on the ground if you can. Looking over the left shoulder if that feels comfortable to your neck. Breathing gently into that right hip, the right knee. Breathing into the back of the left ribs as they wrap around the back. The front ribs wrap around forward. Belly gently pulling into the spine. String in the center of the crown of the head pulls you up. Squeezing out toxins. Inhale here and keep on moving. Exhale and then just keep on moving once more. Swooping the arms around, letting it go. Just really releasing shoulders, wrists, fingers. Just be floppy and look silly. Okay? No one's watching you. And next time you get to the right side, swoop around to the right and hold it. Once again, elongate the back of the neck. Release the shoulders away. Look over the right shoulder. Finding stillness. Back of the right ribs. Wrap around the back. Front of the left ribs. Wrap around forward. Release the shoulders, the jaw. String in the center of the crown of the head pulls you up. Inhaling here, exhale, release, and this time gentle, fluid, twisting side to side, coming back to center. Awesome. And gently from here, left ear to the left shoulder. Take that right arm, stretch it out in a way, whatever works for you. We all kind of hold tension in a different place in our shoulder, arm, wrist, whatever. So kind of pressing that hand away, twisting it, moving it. What feels good, hold it there. Again, the holding in yoga is really about the little tiny muscles that attach to the big muscles and ligaments and the tendons that allows them to really release when you get to like hold them and just kind of settle in, right? So finding, even if it's just one breath of stillness, awesome. Release the hand, head back up to center, and right ear to right shoulder. And the left arm out. Whatever that looks like. Maybe it's different on this side. Awesome. And release. Hand down, head back up. Gently bringing the knees in towards each other. Good. And then the bottoms of the feet together. And we're going to move into butterfly or Baddha Konasana, cobbler pose. So if you can hold on to the toes, the ankles, whatever works for you. The exhale, we're going to slowly lower the knees down. Again, however far, right? Looking at me as like, this is one way to do it, right? But everybody looks a little different. I've been practicing for, 20 years or something now, teaching for about 17. So my practice will look a little different than yours. Inhale, the knees come up, gentle squeeze, exhale, release them down. Hang out here. Again, if you need to adjust, bringing pillows underneath your knees, you may. If you want to adjust by pulling the feet in close to you or further away, just relaxing the hips here, hanging out for a moment here, and then returning to your posture. Check in. How's it feeling? Are you flopping over again? Dropping the chin? It's all right. It's all right. Just bringing awareness. Again, it's not about like the correct posture or even doing all the poses, right? Or like finding the best graceful transition between them. It's really just about the presence in each one and finding the breath there. Awesome. Gently bring the knees towards each other. That will be an inhale. Bringing the hands back behind you, fingertips towards the hips, and stretching the legs out forward, lowering them down to the ground. Dandasana, stick pose for a moment. So finding that 90-degree angle as best as you can, pressing the feet away like you're standing on the wall across from you, the thighs pulling into the hips. And if you want, you can walk the hands down the legs or down the sides of your legs, forward fold over the legs. But again, we're trying to press the feet away because that opens up the hamstrings. And this is a one that you want to protect the knees, protect the hips here. So again, it's not about like curling and tucking the chest. It's about keeping the back nice and long, pressing away through the heels, whatever works. Arms will come by the ears whenever you're ready, and you'll inhale, coming right back up. Exhale the arms down. Nice. And the right knee is going to come up, press the foot into the ground, getting ready for another twist. So the foot's going to go right to the ground. Let me like check in here for a second. People love to like turn the foot towards the leg or tuck it in one way, but it should be like the toe should be pointing straight forward. So kind of check in with that. And you should be able to press down with the foot so much that if I was like, stand up on that foot, you'd be able to press down and get up on it. Does that make sense? So you're not like flopping over to one side or the other. We're going to twist. So we're going to take the left elbow the best that we can and try to wrap it around that right knee. And the right hand, let's bring it up to the sky for a moment. That keeps the right side long, and then drop it down to the ground. Just another twist here, pressing that left foot away. Chin parallel to the ground. Nice. Good adjustment. Releasing the shoulders. Even though you're like, oh, but I'm holding on to my knee. I need my shoulder to hold on to it. See if you can release the shoulder, release the jaw. And just hang out here, squeezing out the toxins, squeezing out anything you don't want to carry with you. One more inhale and exhale here. The next inhale, the right arm's going to come right back up by the ear. Exhale to center, and then keep on moving. And this time, exhale, twisting to the left. Feels a little bit weirder, right? Pressing that foot into the ground, trying to get your hands somewhere. If they can touch the ground, awesome. If they can go on the thigh. This time we're twisting away from the leg, but still pressing the right foot into the ground. Awesome. Yeah, feels a little awkward, right? We're using the muscles in the right inner thigh here. So that inner thigh should be kind of pulling in, like tracking inward a little bit. The muscle we don't always use. Feeling good. Inhale here, exhale, twist to center. Good, bring the left leg up to meet the right, both feet together, relax one more time here, Baddha Konasana or butterfly. Just as you're hanging out here, notice for a moment that right side. Should feel a little bit looser, the hip a little bit looser, maybe not. But now we're going to even it out. So once again, the knees come together, fingertips towards the hips back behind you, pressing the hands into the ground, stretch the legs out, lower down. Dandasana here, and then if you want, you can walk forward over the legs. Any amount, press the feet away, little forward fold, releasing here. Taking care of your knees. You can even put your hands under your knees if you feel like they're kind of just being stretched too much. Again, like the feet are standing on the wall across from you, right? You're pressing away as best as you can, kind of flat foot, the toes up to the ground or up to the sky. Sorry. But you can put like your fists under your knees. That's an option, or right kind of above the knees. Check in with that if that feels a little bit more comfortable. Able to stretch a little bit more. You can take a pillow or roll another yoga mat or something. That's another option if you want to work on this pose yourself. All right, tuck the chin, rolling back up. Awesome. And the left leg is going to come with you now. And press the left foot into the ground. Same thing. Feel like you can press the left foot into the ground. The right foot presses away. Find the spine. Sweet. And then exhale, twist the right elbow around that left leg, trying to bring the left hand back behind you. And there's a lot of adjustment for me, right? Like it's like my belly's in the way. I'm trying to move it around the left leg. So just, get into that position that feels good. The shoulders released, chin parallel to the ground. Now I feel there's this when you're in your body, focusing especially on your spine. Your heart center can open, your shoulders can relax. You really just get to kind of be in the world, be a little bit more you. That heart center comes forward into the world, like standing strong in who you are, just by breath and presence and posture. And squeezing out the toxins. So this is called Marichasana. Maricha was a sage um, like in Sanskrit, Maricha is a sage. So sage, smart. So it's smart to do twists. All right. I think I forgot to do the left arm. That's okay. We'll do it this time. Left arm up. And on our inhale, exhale, coming back to center. And then this time, twisting around to the right. So once again, trying to find the hand somewhere that feels like it's comfortable for you. Okay, pressing that left foot into the ground still, the right foot away. I know it feels awkward, right? Think about that inner right, or sorry, the inner left thigh pulling in. And again, like the spine is supposed to stay straight. Release the shoulders any amount. Chin parallel to the ground, long back of your neck. Awesome. Yeah, there is something about this leg. Heart center open, right? So just breathe into who you are right now. Awesome. Right arm up by the ear. Exhale, coming to center. Both knees in for a moment here. Good. Last time, Baddha Konasana, both knees out to the side. Any amount that you want to walk forward, moving the legs away from you, closer to you, whatever works for you. Couple breaths here. Taking care of your knees, whatever's going on for you. And tucking the chin as you roll, coming back up and gently bringing the knees back together. And however you can, we're going to roll onto hands and knees. You can for a moment get onto the feet to rock the feet a moment here, a little squat position. Our ankles in this world are so tight. We don't do enough of this, right? So taking a moment here if you need to open up the ankles a little bit. Awesome. And then rocking onto hands and knees. So we are in cat and cow. Once again, just checking into position. The hands are right under the shoulders and as wide as the shoulders. Oh, another one, that insides of the elbows, right? Like the eyes of the elbows, as we call it, should be facing each other. And like, so if I bent my elbows, they should be going out to the side. People love to twist the arms and like the eyes of the elbows face forward. So let's check in with that. So the elbow should face out, right? Like bend out. That makes sense. Cool. So flat back, belly pulling in, cat and cow. Inhale to tuck the chin and the back up to the sky. And exhale, the belly drops down. A couple more times. Inhale up. Exhale, releasing. And again. Sweet. Let's work on a little calf opening. So just here, if this is comfortable to you, awesome, stay here. Pressing into the fingertips a little bit more than the heel of the hand. You can even go up onto the fingertips if there's like a lot of pressure on the heel of your hand or your wrist. But really, we're just going to take the right leg back and just kind of work it here. So you can kind of rock a little bit on the right toes. If you feel like you want to like kind of pop up, like you're almost getting into like a three-legged dog, you can do that. But this is just a little calf stretch here. And if that's just feeling like, I'm done being on my wrist, you can go into dolphin. Dolphin is going on from the elbows to the wrists, from that part of the arm, just kind of hanging out. So breathing into that one a little bit. Yeah, good, looking good. And then switching. So bringing that right knee down and the left one goes out. Just kind of checking in with what's comfortable with your wrists. Again, pressing the fingertips down a little bit more, spreading the fingers nice and wide, elbows out to the side. Shoulder joint, knee joint, we got to take care of those. They are not fun when we hurt them. If we hurt them, we will not hurt them. That's what we're saying. All right. Another stretch here. We're going to get ready for a downward dog. So whenever you're ready, let's head into that. If you need to go into child's pose, always do that, right? So child's pose, again, is just the hips go to the heels. The head is resting on something, maybe on the ground, maybe on your hands. You can rest there a couple breaths if that's just where you are tonight. Awesome. Chugging your water. Love it. Whatever you need to do. If you're ready to go into down dog, I'm getting ready to go there. Hanging out there. You can move in it as well, which is just kind of like, stretching one knee, bending the other, just kind of playing with your dog. All the while, you're shaking your head yes and no, really gently allowing the neck to just kind of hang out, pressing the fingertips down, and kind of rotating the shoulders out. It's a little hard to explain, but you're kind of opening up the shoulders a little bit here. So again, you're not tucking them around the ears. And then just holding down dog. Imagining that the hamstrings are aiming towards the back wall. Trying to aim your heels to the ground. Just being here. Releasing, letting go. And walking or jumping the feet to the hands, ready for our forward fold. And gently inhale the arms out and up. Inhaling, coming to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. And just take a moment, be in this transition. From the head down, feel the blood kind of moving down back to the feet. Maybe close your eyes or look down to the mat. And just take a moment to honor who you are, how you inhabit this earth. The space that you take up is fully you. Everything you do to increase your health, increase your vibrancy, you just get to be a little bit brighter of yourself in this world. Taking a moment to honor that. Awesome. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, release them at your sides. Cool. Once again, swoop the arms out and up. Exhale, dive forward. Forward fold. Moving into our little sun salutation. Inhale, halfway up. Keeping the back as flat as it can be. Exhale the belly back down to the thighs. Hands come to the ground. Feet walk or jump back. Down dog. If I'm moving too fast for you, go at your own pace. And if you want to keep going, you can go into plank. So the shoulders right above the wrists. And then gently lowering down. You can hover or you can bring the whole belly to the ground. And then we're doing a little back bend here. Heart center coming forward, shoulders moving away from the ears. You can keep the ribs on the ground. You can keep the thighs up off the ground, whatever kind of back bend you want to do. But the goal is lengthening the back, not crunching it. Heart center coming forward, extend the heart out. Awesome. And back into down dog. Let's do that one more time. Feet coming towards the hands. Inhale, swoop the arms out and up. And again, you can go at your own pace. Exhale, dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back down. Hands to the ground, feet walk or jump back, down dog. Releasing here, just letting go, hanging out. And you can stay there or you can keep moving into plank, pressing the ground away from you before you gently lower down. Coming down to the ground or hovering before your back bend. All right, back into down dog. Let's try to do a three-legged down dog if that feels comfortable to you. We're going to go into a low lunge for a moment. So I'm going to take the right leg up and just play with it. Maybe it's a little bit of an opening. Maybe you just want to hover it a couple inches from the ground. Maybe you want to see how far up it can go. Just playing with that balance there. And then we're going to go into a low lunge. So however you can, you're going to take that right foot and try to bring it in between the hands. And then I'm gonna have us lower onto the left knee. So here's the thing. If you got tight knees or they're sensitive, you can always put a blanket or a pillow or, if you have a shirt nearby, something can go underneath that. I do, and my floor is kind of hard too, so I like putting something underneath there. So you can stay here, the hands on the ground. I see some modifications. I love it. So being down on your knees might not be comfortable to you, but standing up and doing a lunge is great. If you want to stay in a lower lunge, you can stay there. Another option is to come up in the lunge. So your hands come onto that right knee. And I always say that the knee should be over the ankle, but not past it. This one, if it goes a little bit beyond it, that's okay because there's not all your weight on your right leg, if that makes sense. Staying here is great. A couple other options, arms up and exalting up to the sky. There's another option if you're like, I'm ready to cleanse and detox, taking the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, hands together like prayer position. So this is like just going for it, right? Do this if you wish. If you're like, I feel like I'm going to fall over, don't do this. Just staying in a low lunge, the hands can stay on the ground, right? Arms up to the sky. Or maybe you're like, thanks, I'm in child's pose right now. So whatever works for you. Wherever you are, you're breathing, yeah? Good, good, good. Awesome. All right. Now both. Somebody's dancing there. Lovely dance. Lovely. Just looks beautiful. It's called the windmill or something. I love it. All right. We're going to do both legs straight. So the hands are going to try to come to the ground if you can. And both legs are straight. I feel like my legs are dark and my mat is dark. I don't know if you can see me. But anyway, both legs are straight and I'm still bending over that right leg, if that makes sense. So if the hands can touch the ground, awesome. If not, they can go on the right leg. Try not to put them directly on the knee, above or below. But here's just like a deep stretch in the hamstring, but still working on our balance here. This one's kind of, it's tricky. The inner thighs are trying to pull in towards each other. That helps us to stabilize the pose. And then we're going to meet in down dog from here. So whenever you're ready, hands come down, right foot back to meet the left. Shake the head yes or no. Hang out here for a moment. We're not resting in child's pose yet because we're going to get there pretty soon. Our standing poses aren't too many this time. All right, now left leg comes up. So I know I'm working it this time. So this time the left leg comes up. Again, if you want to hover just a couple inches above the ground, you can. Or if you're like, hey, I'm doing child's pose, you can, right? If you're following me, my leg is up. I'm kind of twisting it, opening it. I saw my 1-year-old doing this pose today, so I was like, I gotta do that one. Yeah, she was. She was on her head though. You could be on your head if you want. You could be a dolphin. Okay, here we go. We're taking that left foot in between the hands and we're going down onto the right knee. Once again, check in. This is a good place to put something comfortable under the knee if that works for you. Maybe have a friend nearby or a bed to hold on to, whatever works. If you want to come up, you can. Staying here is an awesome option. There's a big opening in that right thigh, right? I'm actually on my toes also, like my foot is bent. So I'm not just like on the top of my foot. So that, I have to like move to do that because I have a sensitive right knee from a ski accident. So that's another way to, if you're on your toes, it helps your knee a little bit. Cool. Another part of this is exalting up. So there's a lot of balance happening here, right? Or if you're like, I'm doing this twist, then you'll take that right elbow to the outside of the left knee and the hands pressed together in prayer. It's just called prayer pose. You can pray now if you wish, or just holding this pose, taking a moment to look inward. But the hands coming together, kind of pressing together, mimics the inner thighs pressing together. And it should feel a little bit more balanced that way. Find your breath. Or find your dance, wherever you're at. Awesome. And coming back to center if you're not there, and the straight legs. So hands come to the ground, the front leg stretches, The back leg stretches, so both legs are straight. Yeah, you're looking good. And the head is down or resting or looking up, whatever works for you. Awesome. Back into down dog, left foot back to meet the right. And pressing the fingertips into the ground, stretching away the hips up to the sky. Here's another trick in down dog. You stay in down dog. I'm just moving out to talk to you. If you bend the knees pretty deeply, if you want to get into a deeper down dog, you can bend the knees and then like twist the hips up to the sky a little bit and then straighten the legs. Get like a little extra length in the lower back and the hamstrings. That's just another way to protect your legs. Awesome. Well, we did it. We're going to head down to the ground. So we will meet in child's pose now. So resting from here, bending the knees. Yep, I love it. Figure out a way that's comfortable for you. We'll take 3 or 5 breaths here in child's pose. Again, child's pose, hips to the heels, head forward, arms on the ground. Don't follow what I'm doing, but what I'm saying, because it's hard for me to talk in child's pose. Or just, be present with you. And starting to bring the energy back down. Resting, releasing, allowing the breath to kind of come back to a comfortable flow. If you felt like those standing poses and the balances and stuff are really working the energy up, now we're starting to release and relax. But keeping the presence in your body, in your breath, right on your mat. Use that as kind of your boundary. So if your mind starts to go somewhere else, just bring it right onto the mat and just kind of notice what's touching the ground. How are my hips feeling? Am I releasing my jaw, right? All right. We're going to swoop around here in just a moment to the ground. So if you want, you can come to a sitting position. And, however you want to transition, kind of tucking the legs out from under you, releasing down just for a moment, maybe stretching the legs out here, stretching them out for a moment, release the shoulders. I love coming back to poses that I did just 5 or 10 minutes earlier, just from a couple extra stretches or something, even like down dog. In the beginning, sometimes you're like, "Ooh, this is tough," right? And then after you've been doing all the other ones, you're like, "Oh, thank goodness for down dog." All right. So we are going to bend the knees once again and then roll onto our backs. I like to keep my knees tucked into my chest as I roll slowly down. If that works for you, great. Rolling onto your back. And once you're there, you stay there and you're going to just rock side to side. Awesome. And good. Yep, rocking side to side. Nice. And then keeping your knees pulled into your chest, just hang out here for a moment. Stop the rocking, come to center. Awesome. Hold on to the left knee, kind of keep it tucked into the chest, and send the right leg straight up to the sky. Imagine that you're standing on a ceiling. And just kind of move the ankle around a little bit. Use this as a moment to wiggle out any tightness in the ankle, the toes. And again, check in shoulders, head, neck. Is it all relaxed and comfortable on the ground? I think yoga is such a testament to when we notice that we're like doing all this extra work in areas that we really don't need to be, like again, like the head up, or we're stressing the shoulders or something. And, it really shouldn't be like that. I think it's just a testament to checking in with what we're doing in the world. We're like putting all this extra energy out there at times. And it's like, what do I really need to focus my energy on? Where should my energy be going? What should my energy not be going to? What isn't serving, right? All right. So what is it? Your right leg up to the sky. Awesome. Taking the right leg and lowering it so slowly down to the ground by pressing the foot away from you. Lowering, maybe even hovering it above the ground for a moment. Good. Release the right leg down to the ground. And now your left leg is up, right? So we're going to take that left leg and cross it over the body. And maybe the foot touches the ground, maybe not, but just a little opening here, a little open stretch here with the right leg straight, that left leg over the body, and the left arm can go kind of out to the side. That makes sense. So the left leg, the left knee should still be bent. If that feels comfortable to your knee. Yeah. Just a little twist here. Again, if it feels comfortable, the left arm can go out to the side and looking over the left shoulder, pressing the left hand into the ground. Awesome. And don't move without presence, okay? So that we're going to press the lower back into the ground. The left knee is just going to kind of follow right back onto the belly, and then bringing both knees back onto the chest, and just for a moment, rocking again side to side, kind of wiggling out the hips before we do the same thing on the other side. And once the knees are back onto the chest, once again, holding the right knee into the belly and send the left leg up to the sky. And then just, rotate the left ankle, the left foot, wiggling it around and being gentle with it. I know for me, I love to like crack, crack, crack. I'm like, no. Let me just be gentle and let all the fluids just kind of gently move around there. Relax the shoulders, the head. Awesome. And now with breath and purpose, press that left leg away from you as it gently lowers down to the ground, right? Like straight down from, so it's like straight down on the mat. There you go. Not out to the side. There you go. And then maybe hover it for a moment there. Again, pressing the heel away, right? That opens up the hamstring. And then lower it to the ground. And then now the right leg is going to gently, slowly come up and over to the left side. And the right knee is still bent. We have that right knee bent and up and over to the left side. Again, maybe the toes touch the ground, the knees. If this is an awesome pose to do if you're just, kind of hanging out, laying on the ground. Again, using some supports. If you have, a pillow or a blanket or something, and tuck that under the knee. And again, this one is a really good one for the IT band. So that's the hips to the knees. So kind of opening up that area. And anything that we're working the ankles to is good for the calves. So those of you that were talking about your tightness in the calves a little bit, anything that you just rotating the ankles, you want them to be kind of, free to do that, right? So up in the sky is one way to do it, or, laying down with your knees bent is another way to do that. A little twist here, squeezing out toxins, letting it all go. All right. Last exhale to just be here. And then the next inhale with presence and grace, that knee that's bent, what is that, your right leg? Press the back into the ground, the knee follows, and Now we're heading into Shavasana. So take the next minute or two to get into there. So maybe both legs go straight up to the sky and lower them down. Or maybe you want to do, I'm just going to give you a couple options here. Baddha Konasana, again, is the bottoms of the feet together, the knees out to the side. So you could lay flat down on the ground with your, in that pose, right? That's another really awesome one for hips and knees. But again, if knees have sensitivity to them, tucking pillows or something under the knees is a good alternative for that. This is where some yogis will do a shoulder stand or bridge pose. Bridge is the feet on the ground, the knees are up and picking the hips up. And this is also where you just get right into Shavasana. Got about 2-3 minutes left. So for the next 2 full minutes, then I'm just going to be here in this place, letting go, exhaling, knowing that this can be a hard pose because we want to move and think and do all these things. But my hope for you is that all thoughts just go out the window. Just find the breath, knowing that your body is just taking care of itself right now as it comes to center and balances. As you bring awareness back to your breath, just allow yourself to take in huge, big, full, awesome new breaths that bring in new life, new light, new energy. Maybe just for a moment, notice it as light or as a color, something bright and fun and rejuvenating. Maybe a bunch of little molecules coming in, all like lit up and having fun. I don't know, little Christmas lights coming in as you're inhaling and just filling yourself with new energy, new life. And say thanks to your exhale, being grateful for what was in and what is being let go of. And stretching the arms up by your sides, up by your ears, fingertips moving away from your hips and your knees and your toes. Long, long body, fullness. And with an exhale, bringing the hands down towards the belly and the knees in towards the belly, wrapping your arms one more time around the knees, allowing yourself to rock gently side to side. Rolling onto one side like you're curled up in bed. Taking this one last moment to let go, release. You don't even have to think about what it is that you want to release, just knowing everything that doesn't want to be in you anymore, be around you. Let that go. And your next inhale, gracefully find your way back to a final seated position. Once you get there, inhale, swoop the arms out and up. Exhale the hands to heart center. And as you bow to yourself, taking your time to get there, as you bow to yourself, let's just take a moment to honor who you are, your uniqueness, honoring your gifts to the world, whatever they may be. And just kind of giving yourself some love for all that you give out to the world. So bringing that back in to yourself. And thank you all again for allowing me to guide you through this session today. May it give you a really long, restful night. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thanks, everybody, for getting on. Appreciate it.
Have a wonderful, good sleep.
Mm-hmm. Good night, everyone.
Hope and bye, Jonna. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.